COVID-19 case rates in Michigan, unfortunately, and all over the country just continue to go up and up.
Yeah, and today Michigan health officials are pleading with people to get their COVID-19 vaccine to help stop the deadly virus. News Channel 3's Allie Jenner-John joins us live now in studio to give us some perspective on the new data being released by the state. Allie.
Erica, Andy, hello. Michigan Health and Hospital Association released this data. It shows more than 85% of their COVID-19 ICU patients are unvaccinated. Some other facts they found: 3 out of 4 COVID patients are unvaccinated, and nearly 90% of COVID ventilator patients are unvaccinated. State officials say more than 25,000 Michiganders have died because of COVID-19 so far. That's more than the entire population of just Oshtemo Township. Today, I joined some people there for breakfast. We discussed the numbers and why they're hoping more people choose to get their shot. It's a small diner on Stadium Drive.
There you are. You have a wonderful day.
One that seats few, but always has enough room for this group of friends.
So how do you guys all know each other then? Just from coming?
From here.
How many years you and I known each other?
I'm going to say probably about 25 to 30 years.
They talk about their days.
Anything exciting you got planned?
I'm going to go do my Christmas shoplifting.
Shoplifting?
Yeah.
We got that on camera now.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just not going to tell you what store I'm going to.
They're friends and family.
He comes every day, sometimes twice, 7 for breakfast and 10 for coffee.
Oh my God.
And he's been in this area for a long
Still
time.
farms.
And like most people, COVID-19.
I think last year when it came up was the hardest because you couldn't be around family because we were going to go to Wisconsin, but they said don't come. I mean, it hurt us because it's our family. We can't see them.
They've collectively lived in Oshtemo Township for decades. They have roots here, and they say it'd be difficult to imagine what it would be like if this small township didn't exist.
Oh, you can lose so many people, and it's hard to even think of that number that you could lose so quickly, or, with something like COVID.
A toll the size of their town. Today, these friends are pleading for people to roll up their sleeves.
If you want to protect yourself and these other people that I come in to see and enjoy visiting with, take the first step yourself.
So tomorrow's cup of coffee can be better, guaranteed. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says not only will your choice to get vaccinated help allow groups like My New Friends continue getting together, but also help take away the strain on healthcare systems as they continue struggling to respond to overwhelming amount of patients.
And until Monday, I would have told you that all the kids in this community, there's no better place for them to be, and now I don't know.
Some parents are calling it a hate crime, and it happened on a middle school playground. Vicksburg Community School says it is investigating, and now the district is also letting parents know what happened.
Yeah, it says a Vicksburg Middle School student was wearing a pride flag like a cape at recess on Tuesday. That's when another student ran up and ripped the flag away, according to the school, knocking the other child to the ground. News Channel 3's Maria Serrano tells us why parents are so upset.
My child watched something happen that was so jarring that it brought her to tears.
This Vicksburg Middle School parent says the incident at recess left an emotional mark on her daughter. She also says it left physical marks on her daughter's classmate.
I spoke with the kid's mother. It left marks on his neck.
Even more jarring for her daughter was seeing the child responsible back at recess the next day.
I talked to my daughter the next day, and she comes home and she's crying. What's the matter? She says, that kid's at school today. And the perception was that people who commit hate crimes could go unpunished in Vicksburg.
Skylar Arnold is just as angry.
I was extremely disgusted.
She plans to protest at the middle school tomorrow morning.
Parents say this was a hate crime.
It is under investigation.
Vicksburg Community School spokesperson Jessica Wheeler-Ponton says they're asking the community for time to investigate.
We do understand that emotions are high. We understand that there are tensions at the middle school currently. It is not something that is going to be swept under the rug.
And asking for parents to let the district's restorative justice practices work. Wheeler-Ponton says the program helps students right their wrongs.
It allows the students to sit down with the people that they've had issues with. It allows them to talk it out, to understand what has happened, and allows them to make it right.
For some, the incident has sparked some tough conversations with their kids who saw it happen.
Try to let her know that being who she is not bad.
As a parent, like having to explain to your kid, like, why, that is not, I'm sorry. The why a child would see something like that and feel like that was something so bad and so wrong that they had to physically assault another child. We're in a place where they're supposed to feel safe.
Maria Serrano reporting. Tomorrow, two things are happening. LGBTQ advocates will protest outside the middle school in the morning. An 8th grader there is also organizing a walkout to call for the middle school to be a safe place for all kids.
Some dunk them or toast them, others like them plain.
But did you know the leader behind the Pop-Tart is from West Michigan? News Channel 3's Lexi Petrovich sat down one-on-one with Bill Post to share how a snack his kids loved eventually became a hit for millions of people. Lexi.
Yeah, good morning. That's right. Well, for many people, Pop-Tarts are that nostalgic childhood food that you can't get enough of. They're that snack that won over Americans when they first hit store shelves back in November of 1964. Now, 57 years later, I sit down with the man behind the idea. His name is Bill Post, and he's otherwise known as the father of the Pop-Tart. At 94 years young, Bill Post is a father, grandpa, and great-grandpa. And on his list of accolades,
it's $1 billion annual revenue,
is his role in helping bring the Pop-Tart to life. In 1964, the Grand Rapids native was working for Keebler when Kellogg approached him with an idea.
They wanted something for the toaster, but they didn't know how to do it.
So Post and his team got to work.
We knew how to make one sheet of dough, like for a cracker, but we had to put filling between.
Post began making fruit scones and bringing them home for some very special taste testers, his 2 children.
Most of the time they never liked what we brought home. But these fruit scones, they say, hey, Dad, bring some of those home. And after school, they come home and put them in the toaster.
Ironically, at the same time, a competing company with the same last name as Bill, Post, was working on a similar product, but Kellogg's product took off first. They found that the Pop-Tart would likely have the most success in a kids market, and they made their debut in Cleveland.
It was we're to have 10,000 cases of each of 4 flavors, and that grew to be 45,000 cases. We knew right then that something was happening.
Now, nearly 60 years later,
we have a seniors group at church, and you have to bring your lunch once in a while, so all I do is bring a couple Pop-Tarts. And of course, they all think I'm a poor guy, that's all you can eat, but I just like to always have it as a snack.
Post is still reminded of the snack so many Americans love, in his house, on his socks, and even on his license plate. Now, Bill tells me one of the trickiest parts in making the Pop-Tart was figuring out the frosting, especially for people who wanted to toast their pastry. But even with that, Bill and his team found a way to do it in just a day. And guys, in case you're wondering, his favorite flavor is still the original strawberry, and he says that he likes to eat them cold.